East Lansing, Matthew Silka silenced Madison Heights Bishop Foley's bats Saturday evening at McLane Stadium to make sure Riverview Gabriel Richard earned its first state title with a 3-0 victory in the Division III championship game between the Catholic League rivals. Silka, a junior right-hander, was attempting to become the first pitcher in state title game history to throw a no-hitter. He gave up a leadoff single in the 7th to Liam Pollock past a diving first baseman, but then got John Sti to ground into a 4-6-3 double play before striking out Ethan Hoffman to end the game. Box score: Riverview Gabriel Richard 3, Bishop Foley 0. Silka, who entered the game with a 0.91 ERA, improved his record to 7-0. He walked 3 and hit a batter while striking out 7, catching leadoff hitter Evan Ludwig looking on called third strikes on 2 occasions. So, did Silka know he had a no-hitter going heading into the final inning? Yes, I mean when I saw the ball go through I was a little disappointed, but at the same time, I knew that we were going to win a state title so it didn't really matter to me, Silka said, then praised his defense which turned 2 double plays behind him. I've always been relying on my defense because I know that I can't strike every hitter out and they did a really good job today of helping me out more. Baseball semifinals, Riverview Gabriel Richard uses big 6th to punch to get more. Baseball semifinals, Minzy comes up big at plate behind it for Bishop Foley. When asked what was working for him, Silka said, I was mostly relying on my fastball. I knew that if I could keep it to the corners and not make too many mistakes leaving the ball over the heart of the plate I knew I would have success today. It was huge to get that lead. I think momentum is one of the biggest parts of the game and that was really huge for us to get out in front because I knew that once we had a lead and we got rolling that it was going to be easier to pitch. Bishop Foley first year coach Tim McAvoy had high praise for Silka. He kept us off balance and we weren't able to get out in front of his fastball and that was the main issue, that we weren't able to get out in front of the fastball, said McAvoy of Silka. Honestly, I want to congratulate them. They have a great coaching staff and a great pitcher. Gabriel Richard 29-3, which didn't have a senior on the roster, prevented Bishop Foley 1-9-1-8-1 from repeating as state champs, scoring single runs in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th innings. Gabriel Richard scored in the 2nd without the benefit of a hit. Hayden Burke struck out to start the inning, but reached safely after the ball got away from Texas Tech-bound catcher Mason Minzy. Frank Clamorous walked and Burke reached 3rd on a passed ball and scored on a fielder's choice when Hayden Flynn hit a grounder to the right side of the infield. Flynn had an RBI single in the 3rd, scoring Nico Maloney who had a 1-out single and took 2nd on a single by Burke. Gabriel Richard increased the lead to 3-0 in the 4th when Dan Reitmeyer walked, took 2nd on Ethan Lazon's sacrifice bunt and scored on David Zuber's single to center, striking out twice. I knew that something was going on with my swing so I just had to come back and analyze what I was doing wrong, said Zuber, who carried a .400 average into the game, but struck out in the 1st with a runner on 2nd and then again with the bases loaded to end a threat in the 2nd. The first 2 pitches came by for strikes so I was behind in the count, but I realized that I needed to get my front foot down and explode on the ball so I was able to drive that 3rd pitch curveball right in center field. It felt awesome. Silka hit Minzy in the 4th but he was wiped off the bases on a ground-out double play. Gabriel Richard coach Mike Magier talked about Silka. Nobody said anything, said Magier of Silka, who was working on his no-hitter. They have enough baseball sense not to. Everybody was just looking at the scoreboard. He's been a workhorse for us. He's been tough all year. It's a great feeling to be state champs. Degoritsky at DetroitNews.com.